Yeah, great versus Mars in like all stages of the game because you can leap out of the ults in case you get caught by it somehow. Moonlight Shadow, if they ult and Mars is set up for like some type of kill. Sure, if they're pinned, you see them, but if they're not, they're in the midst of it. There's no sentry. Moonlight Shadow is huge. I think Moonlight Shadow is something that's always not like disregarded, but like somehow even we talk about it a lot, but it's still somehow like overlooked how powerful this ability is. Like move speed in fights, ways to set up free smokes around the map, ways to avoid. So I think this is a cool option. And if there's like a Shadow Demon disruption to save and stuff, he always has good opportunities to go for either an hour or whatever.
Now want to see how TSpirit look to deal with the Mirana though. Like it's your really HellRaisers are playing off the back of like a stun into Mirana arrow combo. You've already got SD, I guess, that can play defensive. Like maybe if they give it to Mirror like Aether Blink, but you go for another defensive hero.
Oh.
They actually
They
did
do
it
it
anyway.
That gives me a little bit of confidence in me. So they go for the line. I really think this is just not enabling like Rayball's hero pool. Like I think they have to go for a Spirit to set up for the Mirana, and now Lion just makes it a little bit more difficult.
I think you're absolutely onto it. Yeah, I think you're totally right with that. Because like I'm not seeing like this other big reason. So yeah, it completely deters them from picking Spirits. They're gonna pick OD. I think that's actually such a good snap pick because they saw the Morphling already. So OD versus Morphling has been this traditional matchup always, where OD just he's this massive burst, always gonna be able to go through because it's pure damage versus the high armor.
10 seconds
That's a cool pick, and now it's a setup. Now we've got setup for Mirana.
Yeah, actually,
Not the
that's
best
very
early, not the best early because it's not unfortunately not well, fortunately not 4 seconds at all levels.
I think though this gives them a lot of flex. Like HellRaisers have 24th pick, so you can give it to Rayball if it's a good mid matchup. You can give it over to Limitless in the offlane, like OD. With who's that going to be? Like a Lion Shadow Demon support. Regardless, like it feels like that's easy kill potential. You've got supports that can't shove out the lanes, and we were asking. I think I don't remember who said it, but someone said the OD before to push. And well, now like how does Spirit actually defend objectives? I don't know how.
They have to be set up. They're gonna have to have like these people behind. It's not the easiest for the Meteor Hammers this game, I gotta say. There's a lot of little disables. Your Mars Spear, your Shadow Demon comes in, your Lions, blah blah blah. But yeah, this OD could still have a very dominant early game versus like if he's gonna be versus like a Morphling Lion, he could be really really potent. And the other thing too is like we're talking about the Morphling is we're Morphling into Razor, so I think that's probably one of the bigger reasons that they're picking it up. He can itemize straight for the Manta, deal with the Tree and Protective Root, limited disables on enemy team, and he can turn into Razor and Link. So he doesn't have to. He's like one of the few carries that literally doesn't care about Razor.
Dire team ban.
Still looks like they're a little bit undecisive though on Spirit where the OD is going to be played. Like they're covering all tracks here. Puck getting banned out, Sand King getting banned out, which I think is one of the best pairings with Mirana in the offlane. They do struggle to start fights still. Like HellRaisers are very pick-off orientated, so whatever they go for, whether it's Rayball's or Limitless here, it just has to start fights. I really don't care what it is.
Yeah,
I mean, both Sand King and Puck do the same thing as that you were mentioning earlier, right? Something that can jump into the back lines, catch something. Both are cancelled by the line to a degree.
And they're both, Sand King and Puck also are two heroes that can avoid Mars really easily. You can Burrow Strike out of the Mars ult, you can Puck ult out, or Puck, orb out of it, etc. too. So I think they're covering multiple bases on the side of Spirit, as well as also just covering just in case if it is like a mid or a flex to OD.
Like, what do you play though on on Toronto Tokyo? Like you're not 100% certain about the mid matchup. I think OD takes a lot of Spirit heroes away because he can itemize into single target. Kind of surprised they banned Ember because the matchup.
What if he still Marses and they just still put something else onto Collapse too? Like you're mentioning it before.
Yep.
Don't you just OD mid then? Like surely he just absolutely destroys a Mars mid. But they ban Conquer as well. Like I feel like OD's really good versus Ember and Conquer. So I feel like this is they're just going to give it to Limitless, which is a little bit surprising to me because on paper I'd be like OD destroys those matchups.
Oh, they're just gonna take Lina. So that's the one so the Lina mid, it's because now it's like Razor and OD. Like Lina's gonna do good in both matchups. So now they're gonna switch it up. They're gonna probably put OD mid, like an off lane, Razor safe lane. And their reach is still, again, like the reach though from HellRaisers is a bit limited. I feel like Tokyo might do the same thing as last game about like the beating on towers, where he feels like he's safe to do so. And they picked the Lycan into the Mars too.
I see you conflicted, Aries. What?
I'm so conflicted.
What is the
so
conflict
conflicted.
about?
Okay, so
Fair enough for
Lena's a
us.
good matchup versus the OD, which you're happy about that. Exactly like Fog's saying as well, like how do you start fights on HellRaisers? You have to just like and run in or hope OD gets a catch. And so I said previously, like I'm only gonna go for teams with stuns, initiation, team fight. I think Spirit have easier ways to do that. I like the OD a lot. I like the Lycan a lot. So I'm gonna give Spirit the edge, but it's really close again. Like it's hard to call. But I can't go against what I said with stuns and everything. So I've made too many mistakes.
All right. Well, you're consistent at least. Fog, do you want to give us numbers this time, or are you not going to?
Oh man, I don't know actually. This one's because they have this early game again where HellRaisers like it's like this Razor OD. They could set this pace where Morphling might just be too far behind, but it all depends on how Lina and Mars do. I don't know. This is going to be a doozy. I think the first like 10, 12 minutes is going to determine a lot of the game. I think HR can dictate pace, but I think if they mess up in their lanes even a little bit, we're going to start to see that dreaded outcome of like this Morphling becoming too big for them to deal with. But I think they have a good shot of being able to take this early.
As we go into game number 3, we see a similar narrative that we've seen before in this series and in general for HellRaisers. If you guys have not watched the EEU TPC, let me tell you, HellRaisers is the team that takes Russia's scorched earth policy to a T. They go forward, they blaze, they destroy everything in their path, and if they're pushed back a little bit, all of a sudden they have no farms to collect, and they have no food, and they starve to death. But if they manage to push forward, and they manage to destroy the enemy team fast enough, they are one of the most formidable teams to be reckoned with. So let's get into game number 3 between TSpirit and HellRaisers with Aries and Fogged.
Bravo, thank you very much. I mean, Fogg's time to determine if TSpirit can quench that flames or not. I mean, they're already starting off with a potential brawl. Look at this move from TSpirit. We've already got the action kicking off.
Let's see.
I got a lot of stuns to utilize here. Do you level the Astral though? I mean, Rabel really wants Arcane Orb. He's holding on the outskirts. He's like, do I need it? Do I not need it? And now they're actually going to go back in. As Mira eats the arrow. And now with this Arcane Orb here, Rabel picks up first blood. That's why you were holding the Astral, just to help out with that extra little bit of damage. And what a way to kick it off for the boys on HellRaisers.
Huge too, and there's a lot of little things of mind game going on, right? Like Tokyo, if he has stun, they probably get the kill. But he doesn't want stun for lane. He wants Dragon Slave, so he really doesn't want to grief himself. Miposhka eats an arrow, and it's actually going to be 2 kills now on Rebel. So that's going to change. That mid matchup's going to be quite a lot harder there for Tokyo. And so interesting thing, just to point out how this all went down. I don't know if this was noticed entirely by HR. I think it was because of them all setting up top. The smoke from Spirit through mid, there was a wolf there. So it didn't see the smoke, but when they walked through, the wolf got hit by the tower, which means there was people on the high ground or vision on high ground. So I think they got to read that it was a smoke instead of vision from that, just from a wolf going through. Just something like crazy that you sometimes can notice in games.
I think that's the fact that you just brought it up is something we need to mention is that Dire, they've got really good ways to get vision this game. You brought up the Moonlight Shadow, but now also the Lycan summons as well. And they play really off the back of getting these pickoffs on HellRaisers. I think a point that you brought up is just HellRaisers have to run over this game. Like if they do not get pickoff after pickoff, take objective after objective, I struggle to see how they can take fights through the mid to late game with their lack of initiation.
Yeah, but if they do get the ball rolling, they could just cruise through it. That's the thing. It's like this is one of those weird games that could go really one-sided really quickly, or just you just see Spirit like hang on and just chill back, and then they just win eventually because their lineup is going to get to a point where it scales really hard at this morph. But yeah, we'll see if we get to there. Because his 2 kill on OD is quite a good start. He has Ring of Health. So now your Dragon Slave spam from Lina literally does pretty much nothing.
I guess honestly, like for anyone to be laning versus a OD, Lina's the best to have this 2 kill disadvantage. Like Toronto Tokyo should still be okay. When Rabel picks up the Meteor Hammer, like Lina can just outshove the lane. So I wonder how much of an issue it's still going to be, but I guess now OD gets a really fast timing and we can just see how he looks to play off that because we're continuing to highlight this game for HellRaisers. They have to run over it. It's a free Lycan game pretty much. Like Lion, Shadow Demon do nothing versus the summons. Morphling can't wave clear until really later. So Lina probably has to go, it's core, but like Boots of Travel. Mars is going to have to be, act as that wave clear. So it's looking like a really good game for Limitless as well. And we're seeing have a bit better of a lane than what he's gotten previously.
What the? Why did he just kill the water rune? Rebel, he could have just picked it up. He just kills it instead. Like he's on top of it.
That's an alpha move. Come on.
I mean, that is
Come on
pretty
now.
alpha, but like, he's literally just standing on it. He's just like, nah, don't need it.
Who needs a mana? I've got the Essence Flux. Toronto He's shaking his boots right now. It just sees the position too, like, not even give a damn about the water. He's like, oh my god. This man is actually a different beast for this series.
Hey, gets given a ring of health like at the start at the start of the lane. It's pretty much the dream.
I mean, the ego on Toronto Tokyo, though, if he absolutely destroys this game, would be through the roof. Like, his
Oh, yeah.
opposition, we both know position 2s have the biggest ego. Like, they are just...
He might all
up
chat,
the-
honestly. Like, if he gets like a solo kill or something too, like you got 2 kills and you're just like I could see Tokyo doing some alt chat in some type of situation here.
Oh, I would love that. I mean, again, like you said, it's just the disadvantage and for him to come out ahead. Top lane,
Up top,
some
nice
brawl
blocks.
breaking off. Yeah, collapse. If he wants to pop the Soul Ring for the spear pushback, it put him in a very tricky health pool, though, and we are seeing, though. How's this lane looking in regards to the last hit? Mara's got a little bit more than I was expecting, actually.
I thought he was going to suffer more too. Mira's just been doing a good job of putting under the Razor immediately. I think one of the links was like 3 damage or something, or 4 or 5 damage. So all depends on like how quick your Shadow Demon is, how quick you can disengage. Should get worse for Collapse since he's sitting so low. And mid. Like, this OD 20-7. He's getting quite a bit of extra denies over Tokyo too. And Meteor Hammer is done in 200
laning?
gold.
Lycan's about to go down, yeah. Yadoro and Miposhka finding a big kill. Yadoro might get another kill as Gilga's actually going to look to take the battle to Miposhka with the help of the Wolves, and Gilga's going to get away with his life, it looks like. Yadoro's going to wave him up in shortly. Can he find the angle? Oh, Gilga's? No, okay, he's chill.
Nice Wolf micro too. This guy's a very good microer, as I've seen with his Master Tier Beastmaster and his Golden Lycan. To be expected,
Yadoro's going
Gilgar.
to go in.
Ooh.
Playing the limits here for the Morphling. And how do you feel like it is going to fare here for Yadoro's Morphling in third game?
He did it again. Sorry, he denied the water rune again.
He just ate the arrow. Limitless, has he got the damage? No, he doesn't through the stun lock. Oh my god, Yadoro, come on, man. I'm saying it's potentially looking like a free game. He just eats the arrow in daytime. Top lane, we see Collapse go down as well.
Oh, and in the meanwhile, the OD killed the water rune again when he could have just picked it up. He was missing mana. He just kills it. And he's just... It's funny.
So yeah, how do you feel like this is going to be a game for Yadoro though? Is it like a relatively free Morphling game? Can he take over, or are there still issues for him at some stages?
The OD is the issue. That's the biggest thing. Everything else I think is pretty free for him. It just he has to watch out about just getting like one-shotted from an OD ult from the sideline. He has to watch
Collapse?
how much
He's going to go down again? And Gilga's already made another early rotation. Up the top they go. They really want to take Collapse's Mars out of the factor in this third game.
That's a Gilgar Mirana, right? This guy is like I think it's his most played, right? He's so comfortable on this hero. And I like that he made the move of leaving bottom. Like, if you just see an opportunity, Collapse is already getting so shut down. Set up for the Razor. 1 or 2 more kills. He's even looking for another arrow.
He's going to land it onto the only level 1 Nature's Grasp, but Miro doesn't really know where he can retreat out with 2 supports surrounding him, so he's picking the high ground as well, expecting there to be a ward, but that's not the case. Throughout the river. No, alright. Rabel's going to be fine.
They're double checking the runes though. They got a little lucky that it didn't spawn top on the side of Spirit. They will get that DD for the Lina. And Gilgar, we're seeing him setting up some more wards, taking bounty runes, just being a nuisance, giving Limitless the lane bottom, which means that we're going to see the Lion moving around. Miposhka looking to set up his own kills. Maybe on mid even.
It's the target. Miposhka's going to find the angle. Rabel's got the Asher, but it looks like that first stun with the help of the double damage rune should be enough damage. And there we go. And your advantage now almost nullified. Yes, Toronto, Tokyo, only about 400 net worth behind, but that is a really big kill. And more than likely a lot of damage to the tower as well. He's got a DD with the Cardi. Very nice.
So this is the one issue that does happen. Like, I like Gilgar making the moves around to go top to make sure his Razor's crushing the lane, just shutting down the Mars. But that's what happens, you know. You leave bottom, it means that now the Morphling's going to be in a 1v1 versus Lycan, and it opens up the opportunity for Lion to make moves around the map. So, you know, it has its positives and negatives that tend to happen.
It's a question now of like, how do you feel like Ray... On down here. Banishment holding back Watson. Still has stolen 50 damage though, and when Collapse is holding the spear, at least we'll push away the Razor, but Melody, can he get the last right click? He does. Oh, Miro, with so much damage with the 5 poison stacks, but Melody's laughing. He's like, all right, Collapse has got no game, lads.
Yeah, what? That's 3 deaths, right? And look at this,
Yep.
smoke again. Like, are they gonna kill him again? Like, look at Rebel
Yep,
right now.
They are.
They're smoked up. They have the Astral maxed out. They have the Meteor Hammer. Is the plan just
no.
don't let Collapse have a game? Because that's what it
Oh
seems like
no,
it is.
Collapse.
Oh, he's gonna
Oh, they're
die.
gonna get him.
He's dead.
Mira doesn't have enough mana for banishment as well. He just TP'd back.
Ooh, arrow at the mark.
Not with the arrow, but that's okay. With Rebel being nearby. Come on, give him the tips, baby. You already killed him 4 times. May as well really
That
put him
was-
in the grave.
I was straight bullying, honestly, if I have to say so myself. This whole game, this whole first 8 minutes feels like it's just been bullying toward Collapse. And they're gonna get to steal the hard camp stack. Can Spirit do anything about it, though? Don't think they can contest it. Can they pressure mid out of it, though? It doesn't really look like it.
Melody's already level 5. Like,
And look at
Moran
this-
is 5 as well.
The ward that's placed right there by Gilger, Miposhka plays 2 sentries to try to find it. It's out of range at both. Like, it's actually a little bit of a sneaky one of those wards from the traditional.
Well, how do you start fights on Spirit now with like a really late blink timing? I mean, your Miposhka hasn't had the greatest game. He's a level 5, position 5 Lion anyway, so he's not going to get too much net worth. Like, it really feels like just HellRaisers have to make a mistake where you get a decent arena. Maybe this is their angle back in. Banishment.
This is a level 6
Melody's
already on
level
tree.
6? Like, it's not even 9 minutes in as Melody dodges the LSA. Oh my lord, this top lane is a
Both-
disaster for Team Spirit.
Both supports are 6. Collapse is 4.5.
Mid lane. Alright, this could be a big kill on Rabel. Ashel on
Okay.
Kodan. Yada is actually going to look to play with the OD replicate, but the rest of Dive starting to connect to the area. Poshka's able to land the stun, but do they have the waveform back up? They do not.
Miss?
He misses with the uphill attack. And
Oh.
Rabel, oh no, that was the way back in. Like top of the net worth, and you don't get him.
Now
They might set
Yatoro.
up still. And
He
they
might get
arrow.
set up on.
Poshka needs to cancel.
missed the
He's
stun.
just out of range. He's able to get the attribute shift. Now with the banishment as well from Mira, will give enough time for Yatoro to be able to waveform away.
But this is just space. Look at Limitless. He's like, thank you, team. I'm just going to push the tower while you guys just have your fun in mid. Oh, this is huge for HR. Razor's just jungling. Collapses on. He's going to be on recovery method for the next, like, 8 minutes or something. It's exactly what they need to do. Big plays right now.
It's going to be quite the Helm of the Overlord timing. Collapse
Oh,
is
yeah.
still level 5. Do they give him the Tome? Yeah, they do. Alright, so Tome given over to Collapse. Level 6 now, but the supports are like, come on, lads, I need my 6 as well.
They got to smoke and make a big move. They have to defend mid tower. I think they know Limitless is going to make the swing from bottom. So I think, like, walking top right
doing
now
it.
in Collapse. But he
Here we
doesn't have a
go.
TP.
I mean, that's an easy kill on Miposhka. Limitless can just solo the line. They'll also look to Toronto Tokyo as well, but it looks like the summons can do the dirty work, and they also get the kill on Toronto Tokyo. And you're asking for them to defend the tower, but 2 heroes is not enough as we look to top Watson. The rest of the Spirit are trying to aim down the Razor, but he's already got Falcon Blade, Strength Treads maxed out. He's relatively beefy. He's going to look to stand his ground, but it looks like the first arena secures the kill over for the boys on Radiant.
I guess they made the executive call that mid was undefendable, and they just wanted to go get a kill. So they will get that kill, at least with Collapse and with Mira, but a huge hit again, HR. Mid tower dead, they have stacks to rely on. Rebel, he's just rushing a Blink Dagger next, it looks like. Yeah, this is a very hard comeback here for Team Spirit, and it's not really that they can fight to come back is the thing either. Like, they don't really have the best way to fight into this early game lineup. They'll get crushed if they don't have number advantage. And as soon as we're saying that, HR, they bring the numbers. They have 3 top already set up. Smoke at the ready on Gilger. He looks like he's running toward his OD to pick him up.
Here.
And it's easy
Smoke
kill
up.
combos, these two. If they find Yatoro in the if they find anybody in the jungle, they're dead. Now we just have to see if Mira is going to be in position to get the disruption to save or to cancel.
Mira's in a
Let's see
very
where
good
they go.
spot.
Yeah.
Nicely done. It does feel like as well, because Team Spirit are playing without any towers right now. Like, you can't have the pickup potential, like with a Lion hiding in the tree line into Toronto, Tokyo, maybe eventual boot to travel. You know, Mars once against Blink. Like, you don't really have that capability at the moment because you don't have a map to play with. And you just see HellRaisers with how they're able to get this information with the summons, eventual Moonlight Shadow. You don't have supports to really delay the game, like Lion, Shadow Demon can't do what we see like a Treant Protector does and just play the dead lane, so
Yep.
you have to just defend your triangle and hope that they get farmed enough.
They're getting off farm though. It's HR came, they did all this, and they also came with a plan of just in case if anything goes wrong. They had so many stacks. Like Watson dies the once, he's like I want to say relatively close to BKB with all of his built up. Like Strength Treads, Falcon Blade, Ogre Axe, almost Mithril Hammer. That's pretty ridiculous. So Spirit, like I said, I think the game plan for them is really just find number advantage, find these pickoffs when HR is split up at the moment, and play off of that. So it's gonna take time for them to be able to actually take a straight on fight by any means.
It feels like it's going to get to a stage though where Spirit like have to just give up the bottom tier 2 for the tier 1 top. Like you just need to get a little bit of extra objectives and maybe 2 more camps to play with, an extra wave, because we have, I mean, Helm of the Overlord coming out in what, about 300 gold here for Limitless. So that is an exceptional timing. This tier 2 is just going to melt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're absolutely on point with that. They have to hit something big, like trade tier 1 mid, tier 1 top for the tier 2 bottom or something, but I don't even know if they're going to be able to do that, because the problem is that Limitless can just, I think, just do it himself, or even not with himself, just with his creeps, and then he can show up to the fight on the other side with his hero. And I think they're much more than strong enough to just show up. He doesn't need his creeps to take the fight because of how big this OD is.
I guess the silver lining for Spirit is that like Yadoro is farming really well. Even with 0 deaths, Lincoln's already completed, and Collapse has got a blink in about 200 gold. So they will have ways to make plays, BKB almost shortly. So yeah, the item timings are starting to connect for Team Spirit.
That's true. Yeah, and the Lincoln's does cover the majority of the threat that he needs to worry about. It's the Astral into a combo. Everything else he can play around with, you know, besides like Root. Root's going to be a little annoying for him since he doesn't get to go for the Manta first. But clearly we'll go for Manta next to be able to get out of it. But yeah, I think this is right. HR, look for the fight. They've got the Dominator. Even one kill around Roche, they could just start the Roche. Limitless might just actually start himself.
He's going to. Yep. And they're going to get the kill. Collapse. At least he buys out for the blink before he dies. I'm saying that's so rough though when you see a position 3 die for the 5th time this game, but like you were saying, just a kill into Roche they go. I mean, it's going to be 15-minute timing. That is exactly what you need for HellRaisers, because you have to just run over this game.
They're set up for it now. It's looking really good. Even getting some courier kills. We see Gilger snipe one there, looking to set up and block camps even. Blocks the Ancients to prevent the Morphling to be able to farm. I think it was just a body block, but either way. You can see that they're really on top of their game right now on HR.
Let's see if the composure and the experience from Team Spirit is enough for them to really bring them back into an opportunity though. It's only 4,000 deficit. I guess 15 minutes in though, that is a very big lead, and now with the Aegis you can just...
And you're into all this vision, as you've mentioned multiple times, right? When you're at this disadvantage, the vision becomes even more overwhelming. There's wolves and creeps and critters just pushing side lanes and just spotting all of your movements. So your Toro, he shows himself top for I think even just a moment, and has to TP out because the OD is in the area.
Dude, Maposhka.
He's just dying to the creep.
Seems the Helm of the Overlord is like, oh no. So not a spot to be. I'd like to see Die just go bottom. Like, I understand maybe going for the kill Morphling top because they had the ward to play with, but you have this Helm of the Overlord, you have the Aegis, just get this tier 2 tower. Now hold the map, maybe get some wards down and limit Team Spirit from farming this area.
Yeah, I thought they'd either smoke or Moonlight Shadow and cut down and get a ward behind in some position. Okay, looks like that's what they're going to do. So I want to see them, smoke down, get a ward, like just behind that tier 2, maybe behind the tower or something along those lines. Yeah, right around there. And then you'll get really good opportunity. I didn't want to draw. I don't like messing with like the drawing stuff just in case. I've drawn before and paused the game, so I don't want to risk that. So, but
the pause the game's the rough one. When you pause the game as a caster, it's like, oh guys, you kind of just hide away. It's like, I swear that wasn't me.
I've only done it once, unfortunately.
Yeah, once can sometimes be enough. I mean, my fear is coughing mid-cast or hiccups somehow coming through. I've got lucky enough. No hiccups. I don't have wood near me, but I'm just pretending to knock on wood.
At least you're not one of those guys, one of the guys that had the GG button job, and you accidentally clicked the GG button at the wrong time. I think we've had a couple of those. Those are pretty good.
They go high ground?
I think they threaten high ground. You have 3 minutes on Aegis. The deep push on the side of Spirit's pretty lackluster besides Lina. So yeah, I think you threaten.
A catapult as well? Let's see. Collapse gonna look to reel the blink though. Banish for the easy setup. He's gonna try and push back Rabel. Of course, he has the Aegis advantage, but Collapse, beautiful use of the arena. Make sure there's no help for HellRaisers to come through. And they're gonna anchor the fight now as Rabel looking to reset. LSA a little bit off the mark. I think HellRaisers just have to back off now. Losing that Aegis and everyone TeamSpirit joining the fight.
I don't think he should have gone for Meteor Hammer. I think that was super greedy. I think you just let the Lycan summons do their thing. Once you see them like stun a creep or something, then you go for it. I think it was that was a little forced by Rebel. Actually got himself the Aegis taken out for no reason almost.
Alright, well they're the sequences that TeamSpirit need to bring themselves back into this, because I mean Yadoro's almost completed Yasha. We see Toronto Tokyo going Boots of Travel as well, so like these are, you know, some items that are still starting to be accumulated. I'm so surprised. I guess we see this though with like really good teams and how they can just get farm across the map when it feels like there isn't enough.
Yeah. It's crazy how he's ahead of the Razor on the Morph lane, actually.
Who's that replicate target that he's looking to play with as well? Is it just the Razor, or is there someone else that you might consider?
Mostly Razor. It's like, it depends on like the link situations. It's Razor or OD, I think, in almost all fights. Goodbye, Gil. Poshka, yeah. Nice little wolf. Scouting him out.
Pick off, of course, on the line. Nothing too crazy. He's only got 1,200 gold, so still taking quite some time to work towards the Blink Dagger. A rough life of a position 5 line when you are far behind. Are they still going to catch Yadoro? I'm gonna try and wait for him. Wait, if they can get the vision Rabel. Oh, this is huge. Wait, Astral Linkets. Oh, they didn't pop it. They didn't have a way.
They had no way. They had no way to pop it.
Well, there's the Lincolns you're speaking about. Really, all you're worried about is that Astral into Arrow.
Yep.
Oh, that could have been really bad if they got that kill.
Now they have Blink, though. So Tree, if he had it in that last situation, they would have had the Blink route. But now they have the Blink route for the further, and there's still no Manta. They don't seem to go for Lincoln. So that could be the one that does catch Yatoro off guard. Or off guard. I want to see HR look for a fight, though.
Oh, he ran into the arrow. His attribute shift is okay. They're actually going to pounce on this opportunity here. They don't have the greatest vision of the backline. Limitless Watson leading the charge. So look at how TeamSpirit have been able to retreat further and further. They don't have a tier 2 to kind of set up the team fight around and anchor them, as they'll just blow up the Shadow Demon. Clap's going to jump in and turn to the Marauder, but they still got to be cautious to the rest of the Dire. They're just charging down the key components. Now they'll look over to Claps as well. Arena this time will do nothing, as Limitless playing on the outskirts is able to secure a double kill. And for HellRaisers, you're happy with that trade.
I'm glad that they just forced. I think they should know how strong they are at this point in the game, that they can just run at them, and TeamSpirit has to play exactly like that. They have to full disengage with disruptions and just try to run, and they still can't fight. They can get a kill if the Murano overextends on one hero, but they're lacking way too much right now. So yeah, good move from HR. And looking to pressure mid, it looks like as well. Immediately TP's there from Gilger after he respawns. Keep the pressure up.
5,000 net worth lead. 21 minutes in. Mars is about to respawn shortly. We'll not have Arena if a fight does break out for the defense, but it looks like we saw HellRaisers previously kind of butt their heads on that high ground, and well, they're going to think twice even for the tier 2 tower. So more time for Spirit, and it's, I mean, it has to raise the question of like, HellRaisers, do you feel like they're doing enough?
I think that they're just trying to maximize. I think they're trying to be like, hey, we might be on, you know, like a timer, you want to say, but let's not make the timer be like, we need to end the game right now or we lose. The timer is going to be that second Aegis, right? So I think they're just trying to make sure that they keep themselves farmed and not like all grouped up and under leveled, that now it gets to a point where like we look and it's like, oh, Morphling's like level 18 and now we're all level 15 cores because we've been grouped too much. I think this is actually the right move of them. Splitting up, pushing out lanes, waiting for that next item, getting ready for that next Roche and next setup of fights. Still looking for fights if they come to them, but being able to just maximize the map and be efficient.
I guess this like is giving a lot of space to Rabel as well on the OD, who's hasn't farmed crazily. I mean, what, 5th in net worth out of the cores, but Ag's almost completed, and you were kind of saying that the Morphling, his only concern is the OD. So if Rabel gets really farmed, you can go like Hex. I guess the Lincolns is going to be an issue, just quick Astral into Hex, but you deal really well with the Morph because of the pure damage. You can burst him down for 100% 0. So like maybe HellRaisers aren't actually as concerned. Like if Rabel gets really out of control, you know, he could turn it around. We saw him have an exceptional game 1.
Absolutely. Yeah, they always have that option. It's the OD versus Morph matchup, and he's got his Ags, so now that Lincoln's, he's got the double Astral. So he's got a way to actually play around it, perhaps.
I mean, that save is going to be huge against the arena. I always am a big fan of like a saving hero just to mitigate the arena combo, because Mars is never going to burst someone down. You need that fob. You need the Lina Laguna. You need the Finger of Death. So now both sides have that saving potential as well with Mira on the Shadow Demon. They smoke up though, HellRaisers.
Still no
the
Manta.
charge. Said Yada not having the Manta. They're going to eye up the post at the moment. It's just a Lycan to take away the Lion out of the team fight. Melody's going to look to jump on forward though. Without the Manta, he does not have a way to purge this off. But where's the extra control coming to play? With the Lincolns now available, waveform shortly as well. Gonna go to the northern side. They're lacking the stuns to cancel it, and Yada is out of there. Everyone's out. Look at Mira. He's like, get me away from this area.
I think Malady actually, you know, it's tough to just sometimes like be like, I'm just gonna root this target. But I think if he just rooted the Morph at the initial when he was around the secret shop, they just kill him because the Shadow Demon was too far to like save him. So then his team can follow up to break Lincolns and stuff. But I think he was like, oh, maybe he has Manta or something. So this actually gives Spirit an opportunity to maybe punch back.
Collapse. He's still got the arena. He's going to push back the Treant Protector off to the other side. We saw the Shadow Demon get brought down as well. But the rest of HellRaisers still looking to take the fight. What a Lotus Orb. Pushes back the Earth Spike. So there will be no escape for Miposhka. And in the end, a 2-for-1.
Oh, it feels bad playing Lion versus Lotus Orbs.
Oh, Roche
and there we go. Roche is up. Perfect timing for them. So they maybe they didn't get that kill on the Morphling. They lost their tree, but they got what they came for here. They get, I believe, what? The top tower? I think it was, right? Yeah, top tower,
yep.
And they're going to be able to set up now into this Roche.
All right, so who gets the Ag shot then?
Do you want to give it to your OD for the save? I think you do.
I think so, yeah. Because you can get out of arena. It's really good.
I just, you know what I didn't actually notice until like a couple days ago? That it gives you more steel. I didn't know that. I didn't notice it gave 5% more on your Astrals. I didn't know that. I thought it only gave you 2 charges in the AoE. I found that out the other day when I was like, why am I losing so much mana? Or why is he gaining so much mana?
Yeah, and we're speaking about like OD with this burst potential. So now having Aghanims, extra steel potential. He's going to do so much damage in a lot of these fights. Toronto Tokyo's under a sentry. Oh, they're not going to pounce her. Still, that does feel like the issue on HellRaisers. Like, you're really relying on Melody now for the Treant Protector to start these big team fights. We've seen just Diet, how they take them is Lycan's just starting. Like, he's just beelining in, and it's giving TeamSpirit an opportunity just to reset and really reevaluate if they want to take this fight or not.
Yeah, they're just, like we've mentioned multiple times, like they have so many different ways of just now actually just running into fight with like Moonlight, Shadow Speed, Razor moving 500 move speed, drums, etc. They start the fights in a different manner this time. Manta's done on Morphling, so he has the way around the tree root now. Gilgar is stalking him. The scan comes out though, so they know that they were invis.
Gilgar still hunting. Collapse in Toronto Turkey nearby. They're going to see Watson on the backline as well. So yeah, let's say it's going to give them a little bit of time to deal with the Mirana. Nice play from Toronto Tokyo. Recognizes he doesn't need his abilities to get rid of the Mirana. Let's just hold back this Watson turnaround potential.
Yep. It's a good play. Gilgar overstepping his bounds a bit too much there, I think.
Miposhka? Dude.
Oh no, the bird.
Telling you, Lion is a rough matchup into this.
Oh my god, it crits.
Oh. Like, okay, so you did shapeshift for that, and they completed Blink. You've got Arena. How long
you
you
can't
get
leave
Aegis
top
for?
is the scary thing. Like, you might be thinking about fighting mid, but you leave top, he takes your tower. So it's like, they use shapeshift for a Lion, but it's worth it because he's got full control of your triangle.
So what's Yadoro saying to the team? Because my guy is free farming, still second in net worth, most last hits this game. Is he just calming the team down like, guys, do not worry, I am ridiculously farmed. I can take this for us.
Probably just asking him like, yo, when are we winning? And he's probably like, Scotty timing.
Soon, boys.
Scotty's huge, honestly. It's the mana pool versus the OD. It's slow through BKBs. It's like everything it provides you really as a Morphling versus this lineup that you're against. The mana, the slow through BKB, the damage. You're playing versus 2 range cores, so the slow is even more beneficial. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's top tower.
Ah, yes. Oh, it's gotta go down.
Ace
Oh
that.
my god. I still... I remember that. I don't remember what tournament it was, but the 33 Lycan, where we really just saw like how stupid this hero was. Like the routing potential is like, oh yes, man, what a hero. Ozfrog, like what have you actually done?
That was pre-nerf though, right? I think it was. When it was
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think
we
it
had
was too.
we had the Helm of the Overlord patch. Like,
That's true. This is not the Helm of the Overlord, but it's
close.
still quite an item. I mean, he's top of the net worth. Like such a different game for Limitless. He performed really well with the mag with low net worth. Game 2 on the Brew was a little bit rough, but my guy is doing everything. And now what do you consider? Like, what's the item?
yeah, do you want to go for like an Ags and bite your teammates now at some point soon?
Of course, you don't have that stupid pairing with like the Tiny or anything like that, but I guess the movement speed for the Raze is going to be nice, just to help him kind of beeline into the fight. Like, you considering another like... Oh, you've already got AC, so your auras are kind of stacked up. Do you start to scale now? Like, that's a consideration.
I mean, I'm not sure. It's BKB or Ags, I feel like, would be the ones that would be really... I mean, Ags is just fun, because I've never seen an OD bit, and that sounds kind of scary, but... Let's see. 200 it is. BKB would be the logical one for himself, just so he doesn't get caught in a stun and die, but...
Still, it's... They have done a very good job at wasting this Aegis. I mean, it's going to tick out in 40 seconds. HellRaisers still are getting their farm. They're actually going to TP down bottom. This is aggressive plays.
Mira?
Collapse. You know, it's being caught off to the side here. Mira's going to get brought down thanks to the shapeshift. Yadara is able to play with the Mirana replicate, and he is out to safety.
Gilgert. Dying illusions.
Illusion.
The stupid Shadow Demon illusions.
They're jumping in. TeamSpirit still feel like they're in a position to take the fight, even though they're minus the Shadow Demon.
Okay. They killed the big creep. Get some gold. Has he queued anything up yet? No. Limitless still on 3k. What has a Razor doing? Refresher's done. OD's got Lens. Ah, he's actually going to go Lens. Okay. Wants a little more reach. I think I would have preferred him going for Hex, honestly. Just in case. In case things, like you were mentioning, if things things are starting to slow down. Morphling's starting to get pretty farmed. So, alright, not going to have that instant disable for him. Basher is going to be the choice, I guess, for Lycan rather than BKB.
So he is maybe considering to scale, I suppose. But, like, that's where the Hex also comes into play, because we've seen how difficult the initiation can be. So maybe, like, OD going into that, it gives them another way to really start these fights instead of just brute forcing in. It's now the question of Spirit. Still, if they're able to get that space very close to the Skadi on Yotto. You know, I think Lina, has completed the Silver's Edge as well for Toronto, Tokyo. And we have seen multiple times now, like the Lina has been posturing relatively aggressive, like trying to set up for pickoffs with the invis, but hasn't been as fortunate. HellRaisers has done a very good job to make sure they're kind of playing this buddy-buddy role this game.
Yeah, no, definitely. This has just been a slow build up into one humongous fight that I think is just going to end the game maybe in one go. I don't know which way, but let's see. Smoked
Could be this
up.
fight.
The Scotty's done, as you mentioned on your Toro, which is one of the bigger pickups. And he has a Paladin Sword.
How do they get the jump? TeamSpirit, they have the high ground advantage. Claps putting himself in a position as well to set up for the fight. They're going to see Limitless. That's the target to try and blow up. Rayble's going to try and jump in as well, but the Finger of Death, they protect him. Astral save enough to keep the Lycan alive. And now how can they turn it around? Poshka on the backline's going to get burnt to a crisp. This is the fight for HellRaisers to push them further and further back. Watson's going to utilize the refresh shots for plenty of damage to get rid of Collapse. Bye-bye Mirror as well. They're not done just yet. Getting closer to the high ground. Yadara and Toronto. Thinking about turning it around. They got to be cautious on HellRaisers. The potential buyback, something to fear. But they're happy with the 3 kills.
Yeah, they just used BKB on, or they just used the refresher on the Razor, so back it up. I think you're super happy. OD didn't even have to ult. He literally just had to click Astral twice on his teammate, and he stopped everything. Always going to be the issue of, like, especially initiating there. Bit of a crazy spot in the middle of the river with the tier 1 still alive. They went for it, but OD was ready. Quick 2 Astrals.
And that's how you really break Dota. I mean, just the saving factor of Rabel, it's such a stupid thing. And we see Radiant have this as well with the Shadow Demon, but double Astral with the Aghanim Shard now makes it really difficult for TeamSpirit to play, because you have to really consider now jumping the OD instead, because you jump OD, if you don't jump OD, you might not kill someone else.
Yeah. And I'm also going to flame myself immediately because I was saying save up for the Hex. I think the lens cast range actually allowed him to be able to cast it, but either way, whatever.
Oh, it's
Maybe
also
not. It was
enabled them
close
to get a
enough
pick
anyway.
on Lena. I mean, she's got BKB, but Melody's
Roots
nearby.
down.
Oh, Overgrowth is on cooldown. They lacking detection? Okay, Melody's
Yes,
got a jump at Toronto, Tokyo so fast.
Yeah, he gets away. And it's a BKB though, so 65 seconds where you know you can run across the
Roche
map.
is
They
up.
can't take a fight.
Yeah, that's a free Roche now with BKB on cooldown.
Oh, it actually spawns
Wow.
perfectly.
Dyer's middle tower.
Oh, that's
No.
oh, and it's a refresher. Oh, I mean, actually, you know what? I think it's actually better that it's a refresher shard for the side of Spirit than it was if it was an Ags. If it was a free Ags for Razor, they could just take the whole base right now.
Yeah. I guess that is kind of the issue for Dyer. Like, you can never play as a Meteor Hammer push as the game goes later. And like in sieging high ground when there's 5 heroes defending is nothing like a Morphling, a Luna, Terrorblade, the list goes on and on. Yada,
It's getting too much, though. Toro.
See,
Oh!
Rabel.
Ashot the Wolf.
Yeah, Ashot the Wolf. And now Collapse is behind as well. Rest of Team Spirit in a position to counter-initiate, but Collapse has to pop the BKB defensively, but he's got no way to get out of the route. They also caught Toronto Tokyo out as well. The BKB still being on cooldown, so the lean is just going to give away his life so the rest of Team Spirit can get out safely.
That game is... they're keeping, like, the Morphling farm, but everybody else just seems like they can't play. They cannot play into HR. Like, this is just
Yadro-
really quick movements and just really good setup every single time. And even there, you know, I did mention, like, a little bit earlier, the Moonlight Shadow inside the Mars ult. I don't think it, like, saved anybody, but you saw there, like, Collapse was running around with no vision. He's like, uh-oh. I got nothing to connect on. And right with
Like, I
that,
guess,
everything's up.
I mean, maybe it just gets rid of the Quelling Blade for the Duffs, like that factor like you're speaking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's little things, right? But I don't know if it would have gotten him any type of kill, but little things like that, you're starting to see it's very out of control for Spirit.
Watson, time to siege, level 20. He's got that Eye of the Storm talent as well, so boatloads of damage. Giotto trying to backstab. So we haven't really seen the Morphling play too much around the Razor replicate.
I'm actually, I gotta be honest, I'm a little surprised that Watson is still going for, like, his Aya Scotty. I know it's really good versus the double ranged cores, the Lina and the Morphling, for all the reasons I said before versus ranged cores. But with double refresher, I feel like you could just, like, walk into the high ground and just blast it down, but...
Like, was he considering the potential of, like, an Aghanims to be picked up? Like, do you feel like that's a
Maybe.
possibility?
Maybe he's just expecting they're going to get one for free because they have such good control of the map, and they're not looking to close it, I don't think. I think they're like, we have scaled beyond Morphling's control. Morphling can't carry. Mars and Lena are too far behind. We have 3 scaled cores versus 1. We have one that hard counters the Morph, which is the OD. So I think maybe, yeah, maybe it's just like we're just playing this chillin', get our normal items. Anything we can get for free from Roche, because we have full Roche control, we'll just get. And he just wants, I guess, fight. The strongest potential in the fight straight up rather than a base push.
If Yadaro's got anything to say about that, though, top of the net worth. And Crystallis looks like into the Satanic here.
Okay.
They're going to Moonlight Shadow their own HellRaisers. See if they can find another opening for this team fight.
What else did they... Anything else they pick up? I see a BKB on the Lycan. A full Aghanims on... Or sorry,
Melody.
nothing else, sorry.
They can blow up the Tree Protector. Asher once again to save from Rabel. Towards the northern side, though, they've been able to catch out Yadoro here. Might be in trouble. Looks to get the attribute shift off, but is it going to be fast enough? Still so much damage being dealt to the Morphling. He's going to end up going down. Morph gone, first death. Now Toronto Tokyo as well is in trouble. Rabel, another catch for the attribute. Just gets Selena before she's inside the base. Morph no buyback too here, fogged.
It's over, man. They cannot deal with the pressure that's come out from HR this game. From start to finish, 28-7, 19k gold lead, little to no mistakes from HR.
I mean, Team Spirit had not dropped a series through the Winter Tour, only one map. And HellRaisers on the verge of giving them their first defeat through the Season 1 of Winter Tour. I mean, this is such an upset. HellRaisers 23,000 net worth lead. No Morphling to worry about. Now they get another jump on Mira as well. Bye-bye Shadow Dim without a buyback. I think you're right. I reckon this one's over.
It's over. This was clean. This was really well done. They just avoided Spirit's like few chances of getting catches, and honestly, I gotta say, they've ruined Collapse. That like double play top. Gilger TPing top, killing him. Then they smoke, or they go top, kill him. Then they smoke the mid, kill him top again. Like, Collapse had no game to be able to bring his team back to make any plays.
I mean, they're about to respawn. Dota Plus is saying 0%. You've got your Toro back alive as well as Miposhka. Trying to jump the back, controlling the OD, so maybe they can burst the hero down, but they just turn it, rip apart the Lion. Still Yadaro. I mean, it's been able to steal a little bit of damage. Just got to be cautious the moment though with Link and Pop, so they're going to rely on the arrow instead. Bashed up again. Yadaro down, series down as HellRaisers. Able to take the team undefeated through the winter tour. They will move on to the winners final, and the momentum from the Dota 2 Champions League looks like it's continuing on for them.
That was beautiful Dota, honestly. They just the macro movements, just the swings across the map, the understanding, I think, is like the other big thing too. These guys were on top of everything this game, like which targets they had to go for in fights, how they had to prioritize stuff. Like, I think there was very minor mistakes that I saw coming out. Like, Gilger died a couple times, but for the cause. Like, he would leap in and he'd die like right afterwards. His team would get a cleanup kills or something. It's like everybody did their job pretty much perfectly on the side of HR and Spirit. It feels like for them, they have to hit, back to the drawing board. What the hell happened? What the hell hit them? Because Collapse had no solution, had no answer. Just didn't feel like they could do much of anything versus HR this game at all.
I mean, Mars has been a backbone hero for Spirit for such a long time now. And the fact that HellRaisers had an answer to it, had an answer to Spirit in this first series. And what a performance from them, being able to take it 2-1. We're going to send it over break, and we'll come back with Arvo to break this series down.
After a raising of Game 3, HellRaisers take the series 2-1. Nobody was honestly expecting this before the series started. I want your thoughts, gentlemen. I mean, we just heard it for half an hour, but let's harp on them a little bit longer. Let's start with you, Aries. You were talking about just this impressive HellRaisers team. Name me what things you think they did differently than what you were seeing in D2CL and in EEU DPC. What things stood out to you, or what players did?
Well, I think just overall as a team, though, they're playing with a lot of confidence. Like, when they're ahead,
right,
we just see how they're able to control the map. It feels like they know exactly what they need to do, what areas they need to control, what fights they need to take, who they need to kill to start. It's just a completely different HellRaisers. Like, heading into it, people were thinking like this could be an easy series victory, and it could be one of the teams that could drop out early. And I tell you what, that is the complete opposite story. Like, I'm so excited to see their further run now, because Game 1, they looked really good. In Game 3, they looked really good as well.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like this was TSpirit their maximum, though, Fogged?
I wouldn't see why not, right? Like, I think that they just got outplayed completely. Outclassed across the board. I think this was just really good preparation coming out from HR. I think Game 2, we got to see that Spirit, they also were prepared. They also had this understanding of what they were playing versus, but this last game, HR just took it one step above. Like, I think this was such a beautiful game to watch, actually. I think this was one of the most picture-perfect Lycan kind of gameplays that I've seen. Like, when I say Lycan gameplays, I mean the team, the way they played around the Lycan, because they just...
Sure.
The way they prioritize movements around the map because of him, the Wolf scouting out and stuff like that, this team is a force to be reckoned with. That's for damn sure.
I think when we were talking earlier about the ease of execution and how you sometimes want an easier draft, we can see why HellRaisers rarely picks those, because they just excel at these run-at-you drafts. Like, they're really a feast or famine team, but when they feast, oh boy, is it beautiful. Like, this game was a good example of HellRaisers. Honestly, in the beginning of EEU, this was the HellRaisers we saw against Virtus.pro, and why they won.
Yeah, I think it really comes off the back of how the game started overall, like OD having a really good time, getting those 2 kills. You can never not mention that. And just the vision advantage that they're able to utilize, like with the Mirana Moonlight Shadow and the Wolves as well, just enabled that run over you mentality. And they just controlled the map. And I think for a lineup that was a little bit more timing dependent, to head to the later stages, you have to have the net worth lead they did to make it look as easy. And just props have to be given to HellRaisers. Like, they are looking really, really goddamn good.
Yeah, I love their good positioning as well too. Sorry from them. I think the way that they identify these fights to take, I think, is something that's actually really impressive. And I know I didn't know about it beforehand. I know Gilger's very talkative, but I didn't know until this last game about how talkative he is in the games. Excuse me. I saw lines driven, like X's, lines like in the middle of the team fights. He's like trying to tell people. So I just wanted to make a comment about that, how these guys are very communicative and very aware of like when they are and how they're taking team fights. So it's cool.
Yeah, Gilger is a joy to watch. We do recommend watching some of his content, some of the interviews we did with him in the DPC, because he's always been a pleasure and a great English speaker as well. But we did get a great game, a great series to begin with. We do have another series, however, and we have to prepare for that one. And we're hoping for that second series to be as exciting. It probably will be, because the 2 teams are quite evenly matched. It's Puck Champ, the 2nd seed, versus Virtus.pro, the 3rd seed. Virtus.pro is also looking much stronger towards the latter end of the season. If you're excited in watching that, you just need to stay tuned. Honestly, we won't change channels, nothing complicated. Just leave it idle as we wait for the next series to begin. Remember to do follow Beyond the Summits channel to get notified whenever we're on with the EU DPC Regional Finals. We'll also be changing our panel. I'm going to miss you guys, Aries Fog. It was a pleasure, but it's going to be Lyrical and Trent coming in their place. So let's set those guys up and let's wait for the next series of the day to begin. Hope you enjoyed, and see you guys soon.